Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I am going to have fun trying to make a journal topper. Now, I've made a prototype already, and here it is. So cute. It is made from rolls of paper. See that I rolled it, and I've just put some decoration on it. This is my tissue paper that I stamped, and a sticker, and a little fun gold trim. I got this from one of my subscribers sent me a happy mail. So I put a little piece on there. I just thought that added a little fun touch to it. One of my tickets. But yeah, I love it. I don't have a journal that it's going to go on, but like this is my current red journal. It wouldn't go on there, but I think that's a great size for journals. So I was thinking, I did the rainbow color, so I guess I'll have to do a full rainbow journal after all my color journals are done. You know, I have a lot of leftover stuff, so maybe it'll just be the mishmash of stuff. But when I saw the purple end, I was like, well, maybe I can make one of these for my purple journal, and I can show you how I did this. So the next journal is a purple journal, so I haven't put it together yet. But I was thinking, because I don't think the top necessarily is great to cover, so I was thinking when I make the purple journal, maybe I will make it, so this is the outside, and this would be, not this one, but this would be on the cover, but in versions of purple, and I think that would be probably really pretty to do. So I'm going to show you how I did it and do a purple version. Now what I've done is I've taken regular 12 by 12 scrapbook pieces of paper. I do this often, I've said it often, is that I take these and I cut them down to 8.5. This has to be 8.5 by 12, but I cut down to 8.5 so I can run them through my printer. So I've got a bunch of sheets here. And here are the cutoffs. They are 3.5 deep and the full 12 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make the journal topper about 5 inches tall. I think this is a little bit, this was 5.5. I think I just split it in half, but I think I'm gonna make this next one about, yeah, maybe I'll do 5.5. So these are, like I said, they were 12 to start, so they're folded in half. So I'm just gonna trim them down to 5.5. So I have 2 pieces of each. Now I think I could probably do a couple at a time here. Also, that one that I showed you had 7 colors, 7 different sheets, 2 of each. And the reason the 2 of each, because these are folded in half. So each color, each one, gives me 2. Now, like I said, that last one was 7. I did pull 8 sheets here, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to figure out which one I don't want to put in there. And there's 2 prime choices for me to not put in there. As I do them. But these, this one is one only because it's pretty bright. I like the stripe. And I think this is the second one because it was a little bit more blue, but I did go with it. Yeah, see, this has a lot of blue in it, but now that I'm putting it on the top, it does have some blues and purples in there. Now I could also, I'm kind of leaning about keeping those both out. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe 6 will be enough. We'll see. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. I'm gonna take 1 sheet of paper as a blocking instead of the full book here. Now, what I originally did was I took, I had a skewer. This skewer ended up cracking and has got a like a flat end, so it wasn't working so well at the end. I did have another, this is same skewer that my husband ended up cutting down for me and putting a pin in there so I could poke things. Very, very MacGyver of him. But it's still a skewer, and this one ends up is round. So I'm just going to use that. Now, you've probably made these before in your life. Jewelry beads rolled from newspaper or whatever. So we're basically doing the same thing here. What I'm doing is just folding over the edge and kind of pinching it so that it is in there strong, and then just twerking and rolling. And the reason I have this is because when we're done rolling, I'm going to try to hold on to it and put the glue on here. And I am using art glitter glue because it's stronger and it dries quicker. And I'm just going to roll it and do my best to push the end down and then pull it out. And there's one of the tubes. Like I said, I will do that with the rest of them as we go here, just to make them easier. Now, one thing I was gonna say is you want to make sure this paper is thinner. Definitely it got caught on some glue, so I pulled up. There we go. Definitely thinner. Now it rolled a little crooked, so I'm going to want to do that one again. I found the best is to grab the two ends and try to roll the two ends, because you're going to end up rolling straighter than down the center. Okay, back to what I was saying. So you want to have thinner scrapbook paper so it rolls easier. If it's too thick, more cardstocky than scrapbook paper, it's hard to roll. Now you probably could start out with maybe less than 3.5 wide, but you don't want to do too little, because you know 2 rolls is not going to be very strong. These are pretty strong. They kind of remind me of corrugated paper or something like that. So the other thing that you could probably do is, I mean, you don't have to have it as tall as I have it. Like I did the 12, cut it down to 5.5 tall. That I just thought was a nice size for a topper. Now, if you wanted to make a journal tag or card or something, you could possibly do that. It's just pretty thick. It's hard to tell, but they're almost a 1/4 inch thick, and that's really based on this skewer thing I used. You can end up with different sizes if you use a different thing to roll on. Like I had colored pencils here. These are actually thicker, so you'd end up with a bigger roll. If you had something thinner, there are things that you can do quilling, maybe a thin paintbrush you had. I don't know if I have any thin paintbrushes laying around because I wasn't thinking about this. I don't see any. If you had a thinner paintbrush, you can make thinner ones. So it really can vary in size. One thing I did do is I had originally on that other one I had 8, and I did take the 2 that I didn't add in there because these were they were a lighter blue. Instead of a darker blue, I didn't want to add that one in there. Originally, it was just too similar. But I did take them and I flattened them and took a bone folder and flattened them. And of course, I don't see my bone folder. There it is. And bone folded it out to be able to use it maybe as something on a tag or something like that. But that's another option if you wanted to make something a little thinner. But I don't think you would need as wide of a piece of paper if you wanted to do that. Okay, so I think I mentioned all the stuff I wanted to mention on this. So I'm going to speed the video up because you don't need to see me doing all these little rolls. I think I got the stuff covered that I wanted to make sure. Grab the ends, roll it up. I like to roll it past so this last bit before the art glitter glue kind of has a bit of a memory that it wants to go up. And I also don't put it right at the, I'm going to show you on the next one. I might have all these done when I come through with the caveats. I don't put it right on the edge. I do put it a little bit inward. This one better roll correctly since I have the glue on there. I put it a little inward because my thought is when I go to roll this, come on, cooperate. When I go to roll this, if I put it in the end, it would push out. If I put it a little bit in, it's gonna then push the little glue right to the end. And there we go. Boy, you can tell when you actually do it really good because it's hard to get off. All right, so I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna fast forward this, or I just might cut it out and finish the rest of these up. All right, I am back and these are done. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach them to something thicker, and I don't know if I showed the back, but I attached these boards. These are the comic book boards that I've used for things. They're definitely sturdy enough to hold these on, and then I'll be able to have a nice flat base to glue this onto whatever cover. So I found 2 cut-off pieces that I had, and this looks like, if I put it together, it's going to be just shy of 4 inches. So I'm going to cut these down to 4 inches, and then I should be able to go back if I have to trim it down a little on the edge and get rid of any excess. Now I'm doing 2, one on the top, one on the bottom, just because I don't have a thicker piece. Now if I had a thicker piece, I might just do 1, but I have these, so I'm going to go with it. And all right, so the other thing I was thinking of, since I was rolled these, I kind of threw them on the table and they just kind of got all random. So I'm thinking a random one could be fun versus how I did this one. I did it in color order instead of random because I wanted it rainbow. So it kind of made sense that I went the, you know, pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple for this. But this, I think it might be fun to go random. So I think I'm going to put them how they are. I do have the same 2 on the end, but I don't think I mind that. And I'm going to glue them. Now, I am going to glue these to the end here. And I'm going to glue the part that has the roll, or whatever I call it, the seam, down first. So I'm going to glue it to the end. Now the first one is probably the most difficult to do in this, only because I can't do both of them at once, but once this is done, I should be able to do the second one. All right, so I'm just going to put this glue on here, and we're going to go ahead and put this down, trying to eyeball it that it is straight enough. Okay, all right, so the next one gets a little bit easier. Almost forgot what I did. I did add the glue to this. I don't put it right on the edge of the thing because this the circle, only the tip's going to go on there, so I wanted to have enough glue to go, and I'm doing my best to feel the top and the bottom to make it even as possible, and put them right next to each other. Now when I was doing these, you can tell that they are a little wonky. They're a little straighter at the bottom, I think, because I'm at the bottom versus the top, and they're going to be a little wonky too if they're offline. It's hard to tell because I did go and ink them, but some of them rolled a little bit crooked. Again, it's homemade. It's not meant to be perfect. So back to the glue. So yeah, so I'm putting a ziggy-zaggy line, so I make sure I catch, whoops, enough of it to make sure that it's all good. And I see this one is definitely more wonky than I would like. I'm just gonna try to trim it a little bit. And there we go. So when I was putting this together, I do push it down just a little bit to make sure it gets into the glue, but I'm not pushing it down too much so it flattens. And we're gonna go from there. think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this now a little bit more. I think I might have cut that one just a little too much. Make sure there's enough glue right on the edge. Now, of course, if you wanted to put something a little bit bigger out there to show, something, you know, another piece of paper, like if you had one that you wanted to focus on or something, some fabric behind it, you could definitely do that. But that seemed to actually hold on okay. Like a little raft, right? There is some slight holes in there, but ooh, I am okay with that. I guess I just flatten it down a little bit, just to, yeah, cute, I like it. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna pause the video, and we're gonna figure out what I'm gonna put as the cover. All right, I'm back, and I pulled a bunch of stuff that I could possibly use. Not gonna use it all, obviously. And I did ink the edge of this with the vintage photo just to grunge it up a little bit. So I have that. Now, I did find some more of my tissue paper, and I really think I want to use that because I thought it was fun on there. And I found this, which is a thicker chipboard. And I found this, which was a thicker chipboard to put as a base. And I really like the journal, but I don't like it with that. I really want to use the flower. So, or do I? I do. So I'm thinking maybe use that just to get a different color. Yeah, I like that against there better. The only reason I like said that is it's kind of just architectural. And I don't know what that purple journal is going to be, architectural or not, but I just like the kind of grunginess, oldness of it. Let's see, I do have a ticket. And I do have this stamp. I like the stamp, but I'm not sure where it's going to go. This, yeah, probably too big. And I do have this fabric. I could even cut one of them off and put one of the words. Might be able to put love on there. But for now, we're going to hold this aside. Okay, so I think I like that. So we're going to start with gluing this down. And I did find, this might be too near the end. I'm going to grab a new one. The glue stick did work by putting it like across the top of the rolls, I guess you would call it. And then just nicely, gently laying it down onto it and pressing it down. Now, I didn't want to press it too hard to go in between the cracks because I didn't want to break the tissue paper, but just enough to lay it on top. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so this is a little thicker, so I'm going to use the art glitter glue with this. I did go through and ink everything, except I don't think I inked this one. Okay, whoops. This chipboard, cardboard kind of thing was from those collections I found from Hobby Lobby. This was like a travel-ish kind of one. All right, so I'm gonna put this to the side so we can still see the writing on the tissue paper as well as the word post office. This could be like a travel journal. I could make, because architecture, visiting architecture, like European, post office, railway ticket. I don't know if I'm putting that on there, but yeah. Okay, so you were gonna go right about there. I'm gonna use the art glitter glue, even though this is thin, because it has to kind of wrap around chipboard and go down to where the rolls are. Kind of form-fitting. All right, I'll do the same with this. Definitely could have used some stick glue because it's really, really thin actually, like copier paper printout, but again, I want to be able to reach in and grab the little nooks and crannies. Okay, just tuck this under ever so slightly on the corner. There we go. You can't even really tell that it is an architecture feature, but it does just give a little bit of brief, different color than the purple against there and make those stand out a little bit more. Okay. Gotta be careful, it's still, that glue is still a little wet from putting that tissue paper on. Okay. So do I put this railway ticket on after I fix it? I don't want to cover the word post office up, but I could with the word love. I mean, I really do kind of like that. It will make it not have to be so travel, even though there is postage up there. Oh, I'm so torn. Oh, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna cut that. This I'm pretty sure was rub-on letters because I don't have a stamp that says the word love or dream. I'm pretty sure I used either rub-on letters or, oh no, you know what? I do have alphabet stamps. I probably just spelled it out. And then colored it with some like distressed ink or something. Okay, there we go. Bigger strings are gone. Okay, I'm gonna have that one kind of lean off the top a little bit. I think it's fine that it leans off the side because it is a topper. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. And this one, yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this and maybe gave you some ideas for some sort of journal topper that you can do. I think I mentioned in the beginning that I am not a fan of making journal toppers. I'm trying to, but I think I'm gonna wrap the fabric around. Yeah, it's not my go-to thing. I tend not to put journal toppers on things, but trying to challenge myself to do different things. And love it. Now, some might say it's way too busy, and it probably is way too busy, But again, it could be a fun journal topper. If I put it on this side, I fold this down, put that on the outside, which I normally would put on the inside because it's kind of like the oil slick. Fun. And I might, I have to track it down. I don't have it right now. I might put some cheesecloth behind here just to kind of balance the difference of color. I just don't, it's buried somewhere. I do have muslin handy. Not that I'm going to use that for sure, but just to put something behind it. Just to add a little bit of something to it. That might be something I could do, but I just don't have a small piece handy, and I don't feel like ripping this to be a small piece. I do have that gold trim that the subscriber sent me. I mean, that could be fun to put on there too. But yeah, I think some cheesecloth might be good, or some lace. I'll have to figure that out when I go to put it on. But I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay. Toppers. Made from rolled paper. Rainbow version. Butterfly. A little bit more simple. Purple version. I love it. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by today. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.